I want to welcome now to this broadcast from the Georgetown University in the United States, iconic academic, someone who is at this moment all across social media, C. Christine Fair, Security Studies program at Georgetown University, and this because she was on a show with the BBC where Philippa Thomas, who was the anchor, was accused of shutting down this American academic for her views on Pakistan, where she essentially spoke of the role that the ISI was playing in government formation. Christine Fair, welcome, ma'am, to this broadcast. What do you think General Faiz Hamid's public appearance in Kabul is suggesting about the kind of role that the ISI seems to be playing in government formation in Afghanistan at this time? We're hearing from the former High Commissioner of Pakistan to India Abdul Basit that this is just a very constructive role that the ISI seems to be playing. You've spent your life studying terrorism in Pakistan and the Pak Army. What's your sense, ma'am?
Yeah, so obviously, first of all, thank you for having me. It's been a really weird 24 hours. So I'm obviously going to depart politely with Abdul Basit. I think the most important explanation of his appearance yesterday so brazenly is what we've actually been seeing in the Panjshir. His assurances that everything is going to be okay, I interpret that differently. There are reports all over Afghanistan that Pakistani aircraft have been hammering the Panjshir. So, and let's just pretend that those were the aircraft that were captured by the Americans. Is anyone going to actually argue that the Taliban know how to fly and operate those aircraft? Absolutely not. So I have a really different, and I have to say far more sinister read of him arriving in Kabul. We also know that there are fairly strong differences in opinion that have arisen across the Taliban's different shuras. And so the arrival of the leader of the most important shura, the Pindi Shura, was there to deliver many messages. But I think his most important role is to coordinate the erasure of people in the Panjshir who are resisting the Taliban.
You know, can I just for a moment draw you into what happened on the BBC, where you were on this broadcast talking about the role that the ISI and the Pakistani army were playing? You're calling this the Pindi Shura, and the anchor suddenly seemed to get very agitated. Those clips went viral all across India and in many parts of the world. And this is actually the first time we've had an opportunity to speak to you about that, and what you think happened during that broadcast, where what was a well-researched academic point of view was shouted down.
So, you know, I don't really go into conspiracy theories. I've been on her show before. I mean, I think she's a news reader, right? She's not a journalist. So I view her very differently from, say, Lisa Said, right? So, and the BBC does have this fairness doctrine. But, you know, so she was patently ignorant, right? Many Pakistani officials have conceded exactly what I have said they have done on the BBC itself, right? President Musharraf has conceded that. Malia Lodhi, who is always an official, she also conceded this on BBC. So she just wasn't even aware of what her own network had broadcast. But I think even more problematically is that when they do, I guess there was a BBC spokesperson who says it's the practice to be combative or whatever. When you look at the different Pakistani officials that have appeared on the BBC, including Moeed Yusuf, they are never treated that way. They are never interrupted. You never hear someone saying something like, well, I'm sure the scholars that study Pakistan would disagree. So it was really weird. I don't have an agenda. My agenda are the facts. I've spent time working in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. My views on the Pakistan Army are informed by primary source documents produced by the Army itself. So But
at this moment, the Pakistani establishment, we just heard from High Commissioner Basit, he denied the role of the Pakistani Army in the operations in Panjshir. He says, you know, you've got the likes of Christine Fair saying what they are, but how do you prove that the fighter aircraft flying above the Panjshir mountains are being flown by Pakistani Air Force fighter jets? fighter pilots.
So I can tell you right now, the United States does have drones in theater. The United States knows exactly who is operating in that airspace. So I'm sorry, Mr. Basit, I didn't hear you make this outrageous lie. So I'm going. If you denied that there were Pakistani aircraft in Panjshir, shame on you. You are continuing a long and illustrious career of Pakistani seemingly affable politicians lying through your teeth. And I'm going to continue my long, illustrious career of calling you out on it.